So, okay, I want to go back to the statement by the KTMB CEO, right? So he's saying that Malaysians are lazy to take public transportation. I don't know. I mean, he might be watching this and he's going to say, oh, this is taken out of context or whatever. But so in this case, right, do Malaysians have options? Like, can we really dependently take public transport? I mean, okay, my frame is like this. Again, when we go overseas, public transport is something that we don't mind using. We try to avoid taking the taxi unless we're like super tired or whatever. But it's like, okay, these are the stations, let's go. And we can time it to a T. It doesn't take that long from where we are and where we want to be. Sometimes during peak hours, there are express trains that we can take. What's the problem here? Why can't we do that here?
Kalau nak cakap rakyat Malaysia malas naik pengangkutan awam, cuba anda yang tengok video ni kan, pergi tengok video yang kami cuba challenge pergi ke office tu. Tengok bahagian komen, versi English ke Melayu ke, tak ada satu komen pun yang cakap apa barang naik pengangkutan awam, naik kereta lagi best. Tak ada. Semua cakap membazir masa, tak convenient, tak reliable, selalu terlewat, kereta api asyik rosak. Semua sekitar point-point itu je.
Okay, let me put on my politician hat, on my CEO hat and say, you know, because there are some politicians that say that, oh, kalau harga telur mahal, kurang kalau makan telur. So kalau public transportation not supposed to be convenient. Dia memang kalau nak public transport yang convenient, bawa lah kereta sendiri.
Orang bawa kereta tu.
And that's
what do you say to that?
That's how we arrive at the problem that we're at lah, where it's just way too jammed. Because if you say, oh, don't take public transport lah, then okay lah, that's what everybody's doing now. They're driving ma. So that's why we have the jam.
And you're right. And I think the realization for me is this, right? So from what your experience is like, okay, even if you try to reduce the number of vehicles on the road, let's say 10% of the driving population in Malaysia now use public transportation, right? And let's say they don't mind the 3-hour commute. They don't mind the 20-minute walk and run through the obstacle course. They don't mind doing that. But the public transportation system will fail because, number one, even at the current capacity, with all the obstacles, with all the people driving to the park and ride or without the park and ride, it's full.
Yeah,
it's full to the brim.
The system itself is like, it's already inadequate, even though like such a small percentage is using it, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I think in one of the earlier episodes of LTA, you said if everybody decided, okay, tomorrow I'm going to take public transport, habis, the whole system is going to crash.
And I think that happened one day, right? When government announced that they're going to give
it was free,
rides.
yeah.
Yes. And then public transportation crashed
for the few days. Yeah, the escalators were not working at the brand new station, and people were queuing up all the way melimpah into the streets.
Yep.
It was
just because it's free.
Yeah, because it's free.
The mindset is like, oh, it's free, I gotta use it, or else I'm gonna rugi.
Yeah.
But actually, you're more rugi if you use it, lah.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is an indictment on the state of public transport, in our country, right? Isn't it?
I mean, okay, let's talk about the positive stuff. Number one, I think the train system, LRT, MRT, except for commuter,
yes,
which is terrible. I don't know. I think commuter, they don't know. I think it's not the train problem. The problem is the people that are running the commuter system, the KTM-BCO. I think either they don't know how to read clocks or they don't have watches. They just cannot keep time.
No, what they have are drivers, so they don't have to take the train.
Yeah, he should, right? I mean, okay, the KTM-BCO, I forgot your name, but if you're watching this, right, you take this challenge. Do what Anip and Rory did. Or if you want to challenge me, I'll go take a public transportation and tell you how it goes.
Take together.
Yeah. You and me. Hold hands.
Yeah, actually, like all the CEOs and stuff watching, I feel like if everybody is like a big boss or like a CEO or a leader, decision maker in one of these service companies, right? If every one of those people actually use the service that they are the leaders of, I think the world will be a better place. I think the grass will be greener, the birds will start singing, because then they would know how rubbish most of these services are.
So my finding or my conclusion, and I'll give you opportunities to make your conclusions. My conclusion is this. I think in terms of building the infrastructure, building the LRT, the MRT, the highways, the parking lots and whatever, right? I think Malaysians have the expertise, not a problem. Now is the desire to just make it better. The difference between Malaysia and Japan and Barcelona and New York and to a certain degree Singapore is that the desire to make it better, and it's unhindered. That desire to make it better is unhindered. Whatever it is for the public.
Yeah.
That's why the Google integration is there, because this is not new technology. It's not like we're asking people to launch a car into space. It's moving a person from point A to point B in the most efficient way possible. It's a matter of connecting the dots. And I'm sure Malaysians, people who are running Prasarana and whatever, they have the brains and the capability. It is really down to the desire to like make it better.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I agree. I think it also has to be like a top down thing lah. You know, like the directive has to be like, okay, enough is enough. Public transport needs to be better now. And then you empower the people who can do that, right? Like because if the desire is not there, then like the people won't, they'll just be like, oh, okay, my boss would never say anything about making the train better, then I don't need to do anything lah. And you know, we can't really blame the people who are running this because they are just doing their job.
What's your takeaway from this?
Saya harap Prasarana first kali polish aplikasi Pulse.
Information is king.
Information,
that's
Bila
good point.
information ada, baru senang orang nak gunakan pengangkutan awam. Yang kedua, improve bus station. Bus station pun kena ada maklumat. Ada orang yang tak install app Pulse, dekat mana nak ambil maklumat? Dekat papan kenyataan bus stop. Yang lain tu transit semua KTM pula, train semua okey. Bus tu sangat problem pada saya.
Yeah, so we started the show to say that are Malaysians lazy, or is there a fundamental problem with something else? So I guess we all agree that there is a fundamental problem with something else.
100%.
Yeah.
That is definitely the feeder systems.
Yeah.
For me, that's the main issue.
I think we don't blame the feeder system because kita buat dia, bukan dia buat kita. Faham tak? Maksudnya ada orang lain lah yang malas kat situ.